Okay, so get this. We found a top 10 things to do just because list.
Just
Yeah,
because.
just because. But these aren't your typical bucket list things,
Okay.
like swim with dolphins, climb Mount Everest. This is totally different. More like things people do just because they can, for the heck of it.
Interesting. What kind of things are we talking about?
Well, some are pretty harmless, like singing along to your favorite movie. We all do that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Guilty as charged.
But then there is some, well, kind of out there, like shouting random things in public.
Now that's intriguing.
Right. Or how about this one? Putting an out-of-order sign on a perfectly fine trash can.
Okay, now that's just mischievous. But I have to admit, it's kind of funny.
It is. So for this deep dive, we're diving deep into this just because list. Try to figure out what it says about us, about why we crave these random moments.
It's almost like a little window into human nature, isn't it?
Exactly. So looking at this list, there's a whole range of activities, right? You've got the passive stuff like doing absolutely nothing, which honestly sometimes sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah. The art of doing nothing is highly underrated.
Right. But then you've got things that are all about getting attention, like that shouting in public thing. It's almost like a spectrum of just
I
because.
see what you mean. It's like, on one end, it's about seeking internal peace and quiet, and on the other, it's about external expression, maybe even a little bit of rebellion.
Yeah, a little rebellion, like with that trash can prank.
Yeah.
What do you think drives that? I mean, why do people do these things?
Well, our lives are so structured, so routine-driven. Maybe it's a way to break free from that, a way to tap into spontaneity, playfulness, that childlike sense of wonder that we often lose as adults.
Like hitting the reset button, right? Shaking things up
Yeah,
a bit.
precisely. And, there's actually a lot of research that shows how beneficial that can be. Playfulness, spontaneity, they're not just about having fun. They can reduce stress, boost creativity, even improve our overall well-being.
So it's good for us.
It can be. It's like a mental vacation, a way to step outside the box, to engage with the world in a new and unexpected way.
Okay, I'm convinced. I need more just because in my life.
Me too. It's a good reminder not to take ourselves too seriously.
All right, so some of the items on this list involve, well, interacting with strangers, smiling at random people, offering unsolicited opinions, things that could go either way, right?
Oh, absolutely. You're stepping into the realm of the unknown there. But think about the possibilities. You can make someone's day, spark a conversation, share a funny moment.
It's almost like a social experiment, right? Seeing how people react.
Yeah, and it reminds us that we're all connected, even in these small, fleeting moments.
I like that. But of course, not everything on the list is quite so wholesome. I mean, some of these just because ideas, well, they could be a bit controversial.
That's true, and it raises an important question, doesn't it? Where's the line? How do we balance this desire for spontaneity with, well, being mindful of others?
Right, because even if we're doing something just because, it doesn't mean there aren't consequences.
Exactly. And that's where things get tricky. It's about being aware of the potential impact of our actions, even if we're just trying to have a little fun.
So it's a balancing act, huh?
It is. We have to find that sweet spot between embracing our freedom and being responsible.
It's like a just because with a side of ethics.
Something like that, making sure our actions are aligned with our values.
Well, this deep dive took us on quite a journey. From the silly to the thought-provoking. Who knew a simple list could be so, revealing?
It just goes to show sometimes the most profound discoveries come from the most unexpected places.
So before we go, one last question for you and for our listeners. What's one small, unexpected thing you might do today? Just because.
Now that's something to think about.
It is. And hey, maybe that's the real takeaway here. It's not just about the list itself, but about the idea that we can all inject a little bit of just because into our lives.
Absolutely. A little bit of whimsy, a dash of spontaneity. Who knows what might happen?
Exactly. All right, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay curious.
And spontaneous.